I wanted to jump on here and kind of talk a little bit about something when it comes to speed. I just had a really good class in Iowa, and I had an entire class that needed to go faster, which was awesome because that's one of my favorite things to teach, because one of the things that I pride myself on is teaching people how to shoot faster without the gun. Okay, making sure that I emphasize the things that actually make you faster in the sport aren't the gun. So, which makes me feel like sometimes I don't even coach shooting. I coach the things in between the shooting. It's kind of funny because, you know, there's a couple times when I'm like, man, I haven't even talked about the gun in a while, or I haven't talked about, you know, the actual physical part of how to hold the gun or how to shoot the gun. It's all the stuff in between that I was working on for a lot of these guys. And don't get me wrong, obviously I teach how to shoot, I do the fundamental stuff, all that good stuff, but I really emphasize the stuff in between the gun and where you really make up your time, how you become more accurate, how you become more visually focused, all these different things. So as I'm going through the drill or through the class, one of the things that I say basically to every single class is, every single time I hear someone say, oh man, I need to slow down and get my hits, or I need to slow down a little bit, or I'm going too fast, I instantly tell or ask them, why do you come to a class then? You're already slow. I don't need you to practice what you already know. I need you to practice what you don't know and what you don't understand and what actually makes you faster. Speed is not your problem. Speed is not what makes you shoot inaccurately. It's the things that you do to get to the target faster that you're not paying attention to that make you slower or make you less accurate, such as if I exit a target extremely fast, am I leaving with the gun or am I leaving with my eyes first? That's the first thing. It's almost always vision is where most people struggle with their hits. Number two, I always go to this second because people get wrapped up in it so hard. The gun. If you aren't fundamentally strong on that firearm and you're not holding a grip and you can't shoot doubles or you can't shoot two pairs, at that point you are going to struggle quite a bit as you pick up the speed. Why? Because speed shows you all the flaws in your shooting, shows you all the flaws in your fundamentals. So the third topic that I tend to see is reservations in the person's ability to make mistakes. So what ends up happening is we find this a lot I see this a lot in my class, where people are just absolutely scared to death to make a mistake. They cannot understand that the mistakes are education. Mistakes are what's actually going to make you better, because now you have something to work on. Mistakes are going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall on your face. It's kind of crazy because you actually get worse before you get better in this sport, because as you go faster, your brain's trying to catch up. Once your brain catches up, your accuracy catches up to your speed. And then you start it all over again. You try to go faster again, your accuracy goes down, then your brain catches up with what's going on, and then boom, boom, boom. It's an endless battle, guys. It happens even at the top level of the sport. Even the top guys in the sport are trying to learn how to go faster. Their accuracy falls, then the speed comes back, or the accuracy comes back, speed stays up. Boom, boom, boom. It never ends. You're gonna be doing this for the rest of the time that you shoot your gun. So just be used to making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. Because if you don't practice and push past what you're already good at, you never get better. Going to a class or going to practice should never, ever, ever be, I don't want to say ever, but it should not be successful. You should have some mistakes. You should have some problems. You should have some understanding of where those mistakes and where those problems come from. And what ends up happening when you have those is it makes you more aware of your tendencies to make mistakes. And that all comes from not slowing down, but by actually pushing the speed and forcing yourself to go faster so that you can learn what happens and what is truly falling apart in your fundamentals. Because at the end of the day, it's what your fundamentals are doing during speed or at speed that's causing you most of your problems. So focus on not what the speed is doing to you, but how you respond to the results from going faster. So in other words, if you're shooting an Alpha Charlie and it's right to left or left to right, start with vision. Did you actually stop on the target? Did you sweep the target and just send 2 rounds? Did you see the target first? Did your gun stop on the spot that you were looking at? Did you overdrive the gun? That is part of the problem as well. A lot of the times we feel like going faster, we have to overdrive the firearm. And that happens because the first thing we think of is physical. Like move your body, and you have to push the gun a little bit here and there on specific targets and specific things. But what you should really be doing is pushing your vision, and the firearm will follow. So that all comes from time behind the firearm, time at speed, and only at speed can you figure that stuff out. If you go slow, you stay slow. One last thing, and I want you never to forget this. To be a GM, you got to do some GM shit. So practice like a GM, make mistakes like we did to get to GM, and crush it. All right, guys, if you have any questions, hit me up in those comments, and I'll see you on the range.